Kia and Hyundai, they're currently the second largest electric vehicle selling group in North America. But they're about to lose that title. They know it, and they've just admitted as much. They claim they've been blindsided by Joe Biden. I don't think that's true. I think this is just what you do when you lose the race. You whine about it. Hello, my friends, and welcome to the channel. I'm the Electric Viking. My name is Sam Evans. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Welcome back, everyone else. Thank you for tuning in. It's great to see you. Hyundai are investing not only in electric car factories. In fact, Hyundai and Kia are investing not only in electric car factories in the US, but also in manufacturing batteries in the United States. But, they've recently basically been given a kick up the butt, and they've sped up their plans to do that. Originally, they were planning on investing a much smaller amount than what they are now going to invest. But they're saying that, they were going to do this anyway. Eventually, just because they hadn't announced all these amounts of money they're investing now, they would have done it anyway, right? But they're very sad and very angry at the Biden administration for putting them in a situation where they know they will no longer be the second largest electric vehicle manufacturer in the United States. And they're going to lose what market share they have. They'll lose at least 50% of it over the next few years because it's going to take them a while to start building EVs in the US. Obviously, import auto brands have been pretty angry about how the new Inflation Reduction Act will impact their efforts to sell their EVs in the US. Steve Center, who is the COO of Kia America, is more blunt about it. He said the law pulls the rug out from the entire industry. Now, I'm guessing when he says the entire industry, he doesn't mean companies like Rivian, Lucid, or Tesla. He means everyone else. Well, at least everyone else that doesn't make EVs in the US. Now, to have anything just changed, presto, changeo, is very disruptive to everybody, Center told Automotive News at Los Angeles Auto Show. You have the whole industry aggressively developing and getting ready to manufacture electric cars, and you go in, you change it, and it disrupts everybody's planning. Enacted in August, the IRA requires that to qualify for a $7,500 tax credit, an electric vehicle and its battery has to be assembled in North America, and certain battery materials must be sourced or processed in North America. Now, to be fair, in 2023, the restrictions are fairly lax. In fact, a lot of the parts, including the battery, you don't have to have made in the US in 2023. But really, there's only one company that we know qualifies for the incentive right now. It's Tesla. Why do I say that? Well, they're the only company that actually makes cars in America. It's true. Majority of manufacturers, even though they might say they make a car in North America, or at least in the US, the reality is the majority of the parts don't come from the US, so they don't qualify. That's the truth. If you look at the top 10 most American-made cars in America, 4 of the top 5 are Tesla vehicles. It's shocking, actually. In fact, the fact that General Motors, Stellantis, or, Jeep, Ram, etc., Ford, the fact that they market their vehicles as being American vehicles, and they have a lot of people who are very patriotic buy their cars because they think they're American vehicles. Now, these people never actually question whether or not they're really made in America, whether or not the majority of the parts are coming from other auto suppliers that don't make the parts in America, which is extremely common. Hyundai Motor Group's 3 brands, Kia, Hyundai, and Genesis, each have very strong plans to build and sell EVs in the US. Well, now they do. Did they before? Well, they'll say they did, but they weren't really set in stone. In fact, they weren't at all. They have launched now popular EVs into the market ahead of many domestic brands and have more in the queue. But the thing is, although Kia and Hyundai will claim they've been doing this great thing for Americans and for North America, selling EVs, the truth is, if that were the case, why is it they still qualify? Well, a few months ago, still qualified for the $7,500 EV incentive, right? When the cap was 200,000, meaning they'd sold under 200,000 after years of the credit being available. the truth is, during that period of time, they didn't sell that many EVs. They just didn't make that many EVs. And the EVs they were making weren't very good. They started making some good ones, but they still haven't sold them en masse in the United States. Currently, the group, the Hyundai Kia group, are the number 2 seller of EVs behind Tesla, accounting for nearly 10% share of the United States electric vehicle market share. But the Inflation Reduction Act is going to completely change that. We know for a fact, right? We don't know how many vehicles they're going to sell, obviously, but we know for a fact there is zero chance of them maintaining that spot 2 years' time from now. Unless, maybe not say zero, unless people are willing to pay an additional $7,500 for a car, or willing to not receive the tax credit. And whether Hyundai and Kia, who admittedly don't make a profit from selling EVs now, are willing to cop even more of a loss on these cars. Do you think that's realistic? I don't think that's even remotely realistic to assume that Kia and Hyundai will be willing to make that big a loss on an electric car simply to hold on to the market share that they have. I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's incredibly unlikely, but you never know. Kia's COO said, "We're going to make the cars, and there's a certain cost given the technology maturity and scale we're at today. So it makes things very difficult for us to comply with both what we want to do and the aspirational objectives of the government." Isn't it interesting? Aspirational objectives of the government. In other words, Kia and Hyundai don't share those objectives. Otherwise, why would they phrase it that way? Clearly, Kia and Hyundai just see this as a game of, well, how do we make a profit? How do we make money? How do we get the most market share? Oh, they've put a foil to our plans. It's no longer going to work. We're going to lose market share. We get angry. That's what I think has happened here. But let me know what you're thinking. Do you agree with that? Let me know in the comments. Now, he said, as the market begins to look beyond early adopters to target more mainstream consumers, the limited list of vehicles eligible for the tax credit will have a detrimental impact. The dollars are a little more dear to the middle part of the market, Center said. There's only so much discounting a manufacturer can do. There you have it. He's pretty much putting it as it is. He's admitting to the fact that how much can you discount beyond your margins when there are no margins? That's what there are here. In May, Hyundai Motor Group committed $5.6 billion to build an EV manufacturing complex near Savannah, including plans for a battery plant built through a joint venture with a still unnamed partner. Construction of the plant is underway, but the vehicle slated to be built there won't be eligible for the tax credit until March 2026. 2026. What's that? You're looking at 3.5 years. That's a lot of time to lose the 10% market share that they currently have. We're going forward, but they're just making it a lot harder, Center said, with a tear. You know what? I have no sympathy for these clowns. I think this is ridiculous. I think it's pathetic. And I honestly think it's sort of like you go into a race, you can't be bothered running hard. You get to the finish line and you start crying. You start crying that you didn't win. That's what it sounds like to me. And I just have no interest in people whining like this. I think the rules are the same for everyone. You knew about it. You've known about the IRA stuff for quite a while now, right? It wasn't just blindsiding you. The truth is, the reality is, Kia and Hyundai clearly haven't been all in on EVs until what, a few months ago? They're still fluffing about with hydrogen. They're still investing into internal combustion engine vehicles. They're still not all in, even though they've committed a lot more money. If they had have gone all in on and done what they should have done, they wouldn't be in this situation. But that's just my 2 cents. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. By the way, Hyundai Ioniq 5 and the Kia EV6, both brilliant cars.